They chuckled when she raised her glass. Most assumed it was just another one of her dry, sarcastic jokes. But I noticed something different, the subtle softness in her eyes as they locked onto him. "This man," she said, tilting her glass toward Michael, "is who I should have married. He's the only one who will ever be a real father to my son." Laughter fizzled into silence. No one turned to look at me. Not a single glance, as if I had evaporated into the pastel streamers and helium balloons she'd so carefully picked out for the occasion. I stood still, wedged in the background, barely visible. My fists clenched so tight that the veins in my arms rose like cords. Without a sound, I stepped out of the room. No one followed. Not even her. That moment was the last time I allowed myself to be unseen. We were both 22 when we met, college lovers caught up in the magic of youth. She was radiant, the kind of person who lit up every space she walked into. Loud. Electric. People gravitated toward her. Me? I was the grounded one, measured, composed. She called me her anchor. We used to dream aloud about the future. She envisioned a home by the ocean. I dreamed of a family. It's funny how things turned out. She ended up with the waves, and I kept the walls. But I'm getting ahead of myself. At first, Michael was nothing more than a name. She told me he was just an old friend from high school, friendly, always smiling, maybe a little too available. She swore it was nothing. And I believed her. Because that's what love demands, isn't it? Faith without evidence, trust that becomes your own rope. The first signs were subtle. Her phone would buzz, and she'd laugh just a little too hard at his messages. When he called, she left the room. Still, I didn't dig. I wasn't snooping. I told myself it was nothing, until instinct said otherwise. One evening, I picked up her phone just to check the time. She hadn't closed her messages. And there they were. "He doesn't understand me like you do. You'll always be the one. I wish this baby was yours." A piercing silence filled my ears. My world didn't shatter, it tilted. Not an explosion. Just a slow, surgical shift. Like the quiet twist of a knife buried in your side. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Pain screams. But revenge? Revenge whispers. So I began collecting everything. Every call, every message. I bought a burner phone and stashed it in the back of my sock drawer. Quietly, I synced her cloud backups. Then I hired someone, an ex-cop turned private investigator. Discreet. Efficient. A GPS tracker went under Michael's car. Phone lines were tapped. Within a week, I had photos of them slipping into a hotel. 2 weeks in, I had the credit card charges to match. She thought I was clueless. I let her. That was my edge. While she painted nursery walls and shopped for baby clothes, I was laying the foundation for her downfall. I quietly transferred our joint savings to an account only I controlled. Updated my will. Shifted the house mortgage into a protected trust. She signed the documents thinking they were just part of a refinancing deal. She didn't even skim the fine print, she never did. The child wasn't mine. I had already confirmed it. Quietly. A DNA test at a clinic she didn't even know I visited. Not that it would have mattered to her. She had Michael now. Or so she believed. At the baby shower, with champagne bubbling in plastic flutes and fake affection circling the room, she raised her glass in that ridiculous toast. Drunk on illusion. Drunk on him. Michael stood beside her, grinning like he'd just won the lottery, clueless he was already neck-deep in a carefully laid snare. I left the room that day, but I didn't vanish. That night, while they laughed and celebrated the child that wasn't mine, I made my final move. 2 days later, the walls began to close in. First, Michael. An anonymous envelope landed on the desk of his company's board, photos of him at a hotel with a client's wife. His career? Gone. The company was ultra-conservative. No gray areas. No second chances. Security walked him out of the building before noon. Then, it was her turn. I waited for the right moment, when the house was silent and she was alone. She sat on the nursery floor, gently folding baby clothes with a softness I once mistook for innocence. I dropped a thick folder at her feet. Every damning detail, messages, photographs, the DNA results. She stared at me like I was someone she no longer recognized. "No," she breathed. "You can't." "I already have," I replied. Then I told her everything: the trust fund, the hidden savings, the revised will, the home she'd never reclaim. "You walk away with nothing," I said. "Except the child. The one who actually belongs to you." She unraveled. Sobbing. Screaming. Begging me to understand, swearing it was a mistake, claiming Michael meant nothing, pleading that we could still fix this. I didn't move. Didn't blink. She tried to get a lawyer, only to discover I'd already filed for divorce, with every shred of evidence prepared. In our state, cheating spouses forfeit all rights to alimony. And I had proof. Every last detail. Unbreakable. The final blow came next. I sent the entire package to her parents, staunch, traditional, and devoted to me. Her mother broke down in tears. Her father told her never to come back. Said she no longer existed in their world. As for Michael? After losing his job, he filed a lawsuit, defamation, he claimed. I welcomed the chance to go to court. During discovery, his whole life unraveled. Turns out he was already married. Wife. Pregnant. Living just a few miles away. The moment she saw the evidence, she left him. Now he's unemployed. Abandoned. Homeless. And the child? Not mine. Not my duty. I walked away without paying a cent in support or alimony. What I gained was priceless: peace. I live by the ocean now. The very dream house she always talked about. Only now it's mine. I renovated it top to bottom, erased every trace of her from its walls. She came once. Showed up on the doorstep. Shattered. Hollow-eyed. Dragging her guilt behind her like dead weight. I didn't answer. Just stood behind the upstairs window and watched. She lingered for a while. Then left. People say revenge is best served cold. They're wrong. The best revenge? Served in silence, calm, steady, and without an audience.